Hello, good evening. I picked up some decks recently, some card decks and dice and other tools intended for this. So let's just go and take a quick look at this. I got this from Journey Mountain Studios. I got it off of Drive Thru RPG. They've got a few different things. They've got two card decks that work together. They're sold separately, but you probably want to get both of them. There's the Planet deck and the Planet Traits deck, as well as optional little card mats that you can use, star system mats. Basically, each deck is a set of double-sided cards, one representing planets and planet-like things, moons, some stars. The other ones are traits that you can use to, modify the types of planets in the deck. So you're supposed to use them together and just kind of go with the flow and use them in whatever way makes sense for the creative project that you're working on. So I'm going to lay out the mats here, and I'm just going to draw a few planets. I'll read them out to you. Feel free to pause the video to take your own look at them, look at the artwork, read everything on there. And then I'll deal out some traits, read out those traits, and we'll just have a little bit of fun. Each deck comes with a little information card on how to use it. Planet cards can be drawn during play to create locations on the fly, during pre-planning to create the perfect adventure, or for general world building of your universe. Use with cards from the Planet Traits deck for even more unique locations. Creating a star system is as easy as drawing and placing planet cards in a row, starting with the main star and placing additional planets from left to right. Moons can be added just offset from the row to show which planet it is orbiting. So let's get into it. Let's just deal out a planet and we'll see what we get for the first one. Here we have a large ringed ocean planet. And you can see those different icons that represent them, different traits and stuff listed. So this one has, the large ringed ocean is a temperate wet world, has high gravity, thick atmosphere, and rains. It also has some granular indicators of other stuff available on the planet. So water, temperature, minerals, water, temperature, minerals, vegetation, with nebulous 1 through 3 rankings of them to give you an idea of how certain worlds compare to other worlds. On the back, you can see that we have a table representing 10 different options for it. You can either roll dice, or you can just say, hey, this one looks interesting, let's add that. And then there's a little description. For this one it says, ocean worlds are warm, orbiting within a star's habitable zone, with water covering over 80% of their surface. In higher gravity, flora grows shorter and wider. Fauna tends to be thicker with more limbs. This world experiences meteors from the orbiting rain. And then there's some potential attributes of the inhabitants. So there's a little habitat, survival, watercraft, strength. And then if we go through the major terrain table at the top, we've got island chains, undersea forests, volcanoes, tidal waves, strong currents, vast reefs, polar ice sheets, sea trenches, undersea caves, and vast shallows. I think one of the interesting things with something like this is I don't know too much about planets and space and astronomy and any of that stuff. And so I'm probably going to encounter terrain traits or, entire planet trait cards where it's I don't know what this is. And so that will lead me down, doing some investigation and doing some research to get more of a firm grasp on the concepts here that I'm unfamiliar with. Which can, of course, lead to finding out other stuff that you didn't know existed that might be useful for your game setting you're creating, your story you're planning, anything like that. So anytime you see something that you don't know exactly what it is and it's not entirely laid out for you in the cards, go ahead, do some research, figure it out, and then you can... And that's just going to give you more tools, right, to use in these sorts of settings. Let's go ahead and pick another card. Let's actually get the star of our solar system taken care of. Here we've got a KV class star. It's an orange dwarf. This has extreme gravity. This is incinerating. This has radiation. This has nothing on it except extreme temperatures. No minerals, no vegetation, no water. Potential features of it are extreme gravity, sunspots, magnetic fields, solar winds, energy particles, coronal loops. What are coronal loops, first of all? So let's just put that down there in the middle. Let's pick some more cards. And we've got a medium jungle, moderate gravity, standard atmosphere. And on the back, it's got the same. Major terrain table, description, inhabitant traits and skills. Then we've got a small ice ball, which is a frigid, frozen world, low gravity, thin atmosphere. Some of the interesting things on the terrain table for this one are boulder mazes, subsurface seas, ice volcanoes, geyser fields, and then inhabitant traits and skills fall under habitat, vac suit, mining, and agility. So let's go ahead, let's draw a few more cards. We'll lay down some more planets. We'll just put them anywhere here. Okay, let's sort of randomly go over, and we have a large rained ocean. Okay, this one has some sea trenches, some strong currents. All right, let's jump towards the end a little bit. I'm gonna put it a little bit further back. We're gonna have a small ice ball. It says low gravity, thin atmosphere. These cratered worlds are frigid bodies covered in sheets of water, ice, and frozen oceans. Iceball worlds tend to be further from radiation sources. In the cold zones of stars are hot gas giants. In low gravity, most life forms tend to be taller, lighter, or more agile. Go ahead and put a few more down here. I'm just thinking, hey, this is cool, and I'm putting it down. So we've got the orange dwarf in the middle, the radiation source, the star. We got a medium jungle planet to the right, a large drained barren planet further, high gravity, no atmosphere, rain, and then a small ice bowl way out to the end there. Then if we go the other direction, we've got a large barren, no rain. Then we got a small desert, and then a large drained ocean world. Now let's grab the planet trait cards, and let's just randomly pick some stuff and put them down there. So using this deck, each double-sided card has information on a setting and its possible inhabitants. Roll tables allow for customization of each planet's trait, creating many varying world types useful for generating unique settings and adventure hooks. Alright, so let's see. Tidally locked. Planetary trait. Similar to the other decks, we've got an image there, and then on the front of the card now with that image, we've got the trait table. And then on the back, there's a description. So the description reads, this world rotates at the same orbital period around the host body with one side always facing the host. If the host is a star, then the world has a permanent day, night, and summer, winter, with a possible habitable region subject to extreme weather along the twilight terminus in thin to thick atmospheres. If the host and satellite are of similar mass, they will orbit one another around a point between them, with a side on each body always facing the other. Let's take a look at the trait table. So planets that are tidally locked could have stuff like minor or major quakes, surface venting, crust fracturing, artificial crater capture, rain-formed host impact. A lot of interesting stuff there. Let's go ahead and go to another one. Now we've got some sinkholes. This world features geological depressions in the surface caused by subterranean collapse. Subsurface cavities are created by erosion, tectonic, or volcanic activity, geothermal venting, burrowing, or mechanical excavation. These cavities then collapse as the geological structure can no longer hold the weight of the surface layer. Some potential attributes you could use would be... Oh, and these ones, just to be clear, these the planets have one table that's a D10 roll table. These actually, the trait table here has two columns that are separate. So one is for attributes that could come from this trait. The other one is the origin, potential origin of the trait. So in this case, we've got attributes of the sinkholes, which are mostly size-based. Not entirely, but building size, village size, city size, We also have flooded, bare minerals. And then on the origin table, we've got erosion, tectonic, volcanic, geothermal, burrowers, excavation. So the cards are sometimes like pretty specific to what they represent. If something needs to have a different type of, trait table than the other ones, let's just do it then. Whatever makes sense. Moving on, we have flipped over sentient primitive. The front of the card has the image, and then we've got the trait table down here, which is one table this time that has 3 columns. The first column is size, and then base, and then type. Those are the 3 columns on that first. So like if you roll a 2, like I said, small is the size, silicon is the base, and fluidic is the type. If we go down a little bit, we get huge is, if you roll a 5, that's huge, gaseous, and vertebrate. And obviously, because there are no rules, you can mix and match if you want, right? You don't have to even roll dice if you don't want to. You can just pick whatever you feel like would be the most interesting for your use case. And now we've got battlefields, civilization traits. This one again, image, and then we've got the trait table, which is 1 column now. On this one, D6, we got ancient, recent, wreckage, ordnance, wastelands, fortifications, and then there's also some more descriptions there. So like for wreckage, for example, military weapons, vehicles, ordnance, ammunitions, missiles, bombs, and there's another description on the back. And then I'll go ahead, I'll flip over one more trait for this last one we got here, the small ice ball. Let's give the small ice ball breathable planetary atmosphere. We've got a D6 table for the composition type. Oxygen, nitrogen breathers, which is the Earth standard. Carbon dioxide breathers, methane, nitrogen breathers, all that stuff. On the back, not only do we have a description, but we also have detrimental effects as well. And then the inhabitant traits and skills that might apply to people that were living on the planet. So very, very fun. Yeah, that's these ones. This is the most recent card deck like this I've got. Go check it out. Journey Mountain Studios on Drive Thru RPG. Give it a whirl. Have some fun.